Hello.
Hello, you must be Patrick. Can you see me and hear me?
I can.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I especially appreciate you logging in early. Sometimes we do have some technical issues, so I am happy to see you live and clear.
Thank you. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay, take your time.
All right.
Okay, so have you been to these types of market research interviews before?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What do you like about them?
I mean, they're great now that they're on Zoom. I don't know. Sometimes it's interesting to hear new ideas and new products or kind of where you guys are headed with things. Sometimes it's just really boring too, but obviously it's nice if it's an actual product to be in person, but when it's just concepts and ideas, it's way better to do it at home because it's obviously simpler.
Yep. I'm going to adjust my volume a little bit so I can hear you a little bit better. Are you okay hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, I have an outside voice, probably why I do this job. So great. Well, so like when the other times you've been in these kinds of interviews, you really are really interested in your honest opinions, whether they're good, bad, or ugly, as long as it's what you truly think and believe. That's what we're asking for today. We don't need any sugarcoating or anything like that, pun intended, because you probably guessed we're talking about frozen desserts.
Yep.
Great. And we are going to be recording today's session for research purposes. And, before we get into the good stuff, did you have any questions for me about today's session?
Nope.
Okay, great. So let's start with an introduction. I would love to hear a little bit about you, what your occupation is, if you work, and how many people and who are in your household with you.
So I'm 35. I work for the Department of Mental Health. I help to supervise our safety and security department with our security and police officers and just general building security like fire safety and stuff like that. I have 3 roommates right now, including myself. I think that was all you asked.
Okay, yeah, that was it. Thank you. And tell me about a little bit about the area where you live.
So I'm like 5 miles outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So it's just it's a city outside of the main city in Massachusetts.
And have you lived there all your life?
No. So I've been here like 4 years.
Okay.
Previously, I grew up in the suburbs, but I was in the city in college.
Okay, great. And what is something that you are looking forward to doing this summer?
Um, I don't know, just going to the beach and relaxing and not worrying about work or COVID or anything.
Yeah, the beach does sound nice for sure. So let's jump into the topic at hand. So when I say frozen desserts, what first comes to your mind?
I mean, I'm thinking of like the kind of fruity outshine bars just because that's what my ex used to really like and eat all the time.
Did you say outshine bars?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that product. Can you tell me what that is?
So it's like kind of like a fruit bar. So it's just kind of like pureed fruit that's frozen into like a popsicle. So
Oh, okay.
not like an ice cream sandwich-esque thing, but more like a fruit.
Okay.
It's
Great.
it's allegedly healthier.
Okay. And when you personally are buying frozen desserts, are you typically buying just for yourself or for your whole household, meaning and your roommates too?
Typically for myself and like any guests that I would have over.
Okay. Okay. So when you are purchasing for yourself, what types of frozen desserts do you normally buy?
So normally it would be like the outshine bars or ice cream or I don't know, maybe like a novelty like ice cream sandwich type thing, like
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
or one of the bars like the Magnums or something like that.
And when you said ice cream, what exactly were you
Like
referring to?
like a tub of it or a container.
Oh, okay. 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 And what are you typically buying? What brands are you buying when you're buying some of those things?
So I guess I'm all over the place on it really. And sometimes it's the store brand, sometimes it's Friendlies, sometimes it's Briars, sometimes like if I'm getting like a Klondike bar
Hmm.
from Klondike, I guess. But I don't really necessarily have any brand loyalty to my frozen novelty items.
Okay. And when you mentioned Friendlies, is that you? Do you buy that at the supermarket or do you buy that at the Friendlies restaurant?
The supermarket.
Okay. Okay. What about what kind of sizes are you buying when you're buying frozen desserts for yourself?
Um, so generally it would be if it was like kind of like a bar type thing, they're usually in like a 6 or an 8 pack, sometimes a 12. Other than that, it would just be like a pint of ice cream or I guess it's a quart, I think.
Okay. Okay. And why are you buying the larger sizes?
Um, I guess I just think it's a better value, and um, I don't plan on eating it all either way. So I guess it's just there if I want some later.
Hmm. And why is it important to you to get value when you're buying your frozen desserts?
Um, I don't know. I just think I'm kind of a value conscious person. So I mean, if I really like something, I'll pay more for it. But I guess I don't necessarily find that like there's a big difference between I don't know the quote unquote premium brands versus the regular ones.
Hmm. 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 So, how about let's kind of look at this sort of like on a calendar. Does the way that you buy frozen desserts or ice creams change at different times of the year or not?
Yeah, I definitely say I buy more in like the summer months.
And why are you buying more in the summer months?
Um, just because I don't know. I think there's just something about being warm and eating ice cream that I mean maybe it's a New England thing because we have like winters and summers, but it just seems better in the summer than it does in the winter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. Does the so when it's colder out, are you buying less ice cream?
Yes.
And you're buying less ice cream because
I just don't have like the urge to eat it as much in the winter time as I do in the summertime.
okay. Okay. And you're buying more ice cream in the warmer months because
I have the urge to eat it more in the warmer months than I do in the winter months.
so when you say urge, can you describe that for me, please?
Um, yeah, so like I don't know, the want for something cold when I'm hot to like cool me down, or like a treat after being outside all day in the beating sun.
So am I hearing you say that you don't need a treat in a colder month?
Um, yeah, I guess. I
I
mean,
guess.
it's not that like I don't need like some sort of indulgence, I guess, but it's just in the summer months I spend more time outside. So if I was like at the park or at the beach or something, stopping for ice cream or having ice cream or buying ice cream seems more palatable to me than when it's cold outside. Having something cold just like keeps me cold. It's just kind of like eating soup in the wintertime, where people eat more soup when it's cold outside than you do when it's hot outside.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about your favorite. What is one of your personal favorite tasting ice cream product?
So I like kind of like an almond joy flavor. So something with coconut and almonds in it.
And
Um,
what product would that be?
so like there's a few of them that make them, but I'm thinking of just like a local farm that has farm stand that was kind of by my house that would have one. And it was something that I really liked. I forget what they called it. It was something funky.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. So farm stands, what are they selling? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that
They
in my
sell
area.
ice cream. So they sell it by like the cone or the pint or whatever, but it's just like an ice cream stand.
Is that something that's packaged in a box, or they're selling it
No,
to eat it right then and there?
eat it right then and there.
Oh, okay, okay,
But
okay.
like they also sell that type of ice cream like in the box in the supermarket
Mm-hmm.
as well. Um, but I'm not. I can't think of like a specific like brand that does it. Like you kind of just would need to read the label, but it's essentially like an almond joy.
Okay.
The candy bar, so it's like that kind of flavor.
And if you're thinking about the products you can buy at the supermarket, what's one of your top favorites that comes from the supermarket?
It would be like moose tracks.
Loose Track?
Moose.
Moose Track. Okay, I don't know that one either. So tell me about that one.
It's chocolate and peanut butter and vanilla ice cream.
Is that a like a ice cream in a tub, or is it a popsicle?
It's in a tub.
Okay, okay. And what about that one makes it a favorite for you?
I just like anything with peanut butter in it, I guess.
And what does that peanut butter taste like to you when it's mixed in ice cream?
Um, salty and sweet.
So, oh, okay, we'll skip that one. Okay. So tell me about how often are you buying the Moose Track?
Um, I mean, I guess I'm all over the place. Like sometimes I just avoid that aisle in general, but every other month or so.
Mhm, mhm. So would you say that's frequent or not according to your standards?
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like super frequent, but it's not like always in the freezer, I guess, but it's occasionally in there.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound too frequent to me. So can you help me understand why you don't buy it that frequently?
Um, I don't know. I find it to be more of like an indulgence than like a staple. So I try like it's not generally like, good for you, so I don't try and always have it on hand because then I'll probably end up eating it. So it's not necessarily like a healthy thing to have. So I sometimes stay away from things that are unhealthy.
Okay. And you're staying away from it for, what kind of reasons?
Because it's got like a lot of sugar and fat in it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I don't particularly like the ones that don't have a lot of sugar and fat in them.
Hmm.
So I don't. When I buy it, I buy what I want, and then I eat it whenever I feel the urge, I guess. But I don't always have the urge to eat it, so I don't buy ones that aren't going to fulfill my wants or desires, like the sugar-free, low-fat milk type things.
So, with that favorite flavor, like one of the moose tracks, when you go to the store, do you decide before you go to the store that you want to get a moose track, or do you decide when you're standing in front of the aisle?
When I'm standing in front of the aisle.
And tell me about that experience.
So that experience, just kind of when I'm there, if it kind of catches my eye or I feel like I want ice cream, I'll kind of just scan what's on the shelves, see if anything's on sale, see if any of the kind of titles pique my interest, I guess. Or then if they don't, like, that's kind of like a standby. If I like want ice cream but I'm not really sure what I want, I'll just find something like that.
What do you think, what kinds of things jump out at you that capture your attention?
I mean, the price, like swirling peanut butter, swirling chocolate, a picture of the item, I guess.
Okay. So I hear you're saying you're looking for swirling. What does swirling provide you?
I guess it's just like a subconscious belief that like swirling equals good.
You know, good's one of those words that focus group moderators have a little bit of a problem with, because good is this giant word that means 100 different things to 100 different people. What other words could you give me instead of good in this context? Good how?
Appealing, palatable, delicious.
Excellent, great. Let me look at my get my notes here for a second. Okay. All right, I think I know where I'm back on track here now. So let's talk a little bit more and stay on the moose track. So thinking about where and when were you the first time you ever had a moose track? Can you think back to that?
I got no idea.
Okay. How about thinking back to one of your earliest memories of having any kind of enjoyable ice cream experience?
So yeah, that was just being a kid. When I grew up, there used to be an ice cream truck that would come around the neighborhood. So just asking my mother for money and then riding our bikes around and kind of tracking down the sound of the ice cream truck.
And when you heard the sound of the ice cream truck coming your direction, do you remember what thoughts and feelings went through your head when you were a kid?
Yeah, I got to get some money so I can buy some ice cream.
What else?
I don't know, happy, joy, entertainment, satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Satisfaction how?
Satisfaction in two ways. One, finding the truck, because it was I grew up on a military base, so like the neighborhoods were kind of, I don't know, all over the place, but you could like hear the ice cream truck from kind of anywhere. And like fulfilling that urge for like something cold and sweet and savory.
So, what about eating the ice cream outdoors? If it was a truck, you were outdoors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I was in the summertime when the ice cream truck was around. So most of the time we were kind of out in the neighborhood and either making like forts in the woods or riding our bikes around. So generally it was hot out, so it was good to have something cold.
Mm-hmm. And aside from the hot weather and the cold ice cream, what about the feelings that you had or that you today associate with your past childhood experiences around ice cream and the ice cream truck?
I mean, it was a feeling of like joy and excitement, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And where is the joy of that coming from?
Um, I mean, I guess the joy when I was a kid was coming from it being kind of like an unhealthy treat, kind of eating dessert in the middle of the day type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't necessarily like rewarded for doing anything particularly. It was just kind of getting a niceness for free.
Did you know it was unhealthy when you were a kid?
Yes.
How did you know that as a kid?
Because my mother was kind of health conscious when we were kids as
Okay.
well. So kind of beat that into us.
Okay. Okay. Um, so let's think a little bit about going back to the moose tracks. And what was the last time you were eating a moose track, do you think?
I lost you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fade out?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you said.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. That's a technology glitch, unfortunately, here on Zoom. Hopefully it won't happen again. So thinking back to the moose tracks, when was the last time that you had a moose track?
It was it was about a month ago.
Okay. And what were you doing, or what time of day was it? Who were you with?
Um, it was in Florida. I was visiting my friend in Florida. So it was in the middle of the day, like kind of like after lunch, so probably like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just hanging out by the pool and eating
Okay.
ice cream.
And the feelings of joy and excitement you had as a kid, did you have those same feelings a month ago when you had moose tracks in Florida?
Um, Not to the extent. Um, I mean, as an adult, like I know that I can just get it whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
um, I can go to the store and buy it myself, so I don't necessarily get the same um, joy, like knowledge that I can just do it. I mean, it was still tasted good and I liked it, but um, I didn't. I don't feel that it's as much of a novelty, I guess, as I did when I was a child.
Mm-hmm. So that day in Florida, this was a planned purchase, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And why was it a planned purchase?
Um, so my friend lives down there, so whenever I visit her, usually like a day or so after I get there, we just go grocery shopping and buy whatever we need or think we need for the week, and then get little knickknacks here and there in between. So it was just something that we purchased while we were going around in the store, figuring that we'll probably want this at some point in time.
So, well, how did ice cream or moose tracks make it on your shopping list that day?
I'm not really sure. I don't know if it was necessarily that we made a list. We were kind of just walking down the aisles and um, it looked good, so we grabbed it, or I grabbed it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And about how often today do you buy ice cream? Not just in Florida, but
Um,
all time.
mean, it's seasonal, but like in the summertime, probably like at least once a month. But other than that, um, probably like every other month in the other months.
Mm-hmm. And is that just moose
So
tracks, or is that all kinds of ice cream combined?
all kinds.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll usually buy like the bigger container of it, so like it'll be in the freezer or whatever for a week or so,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if I'm only eating or if other people are eating it, or um, if I only buy one or if I buy like two or so. Even though I'm not necessarily buying it like frequently, it might be around more frequently.
So if you're not buying it frequently, what's holding you back from doing that?
I mean, I guess I'm just not like a giant ice cream fan in general, but like I said previously, like it's just not really like a healthy snack, I guess. And um, I don't know, I think of it as an indulgence, and it's not necessarily something that I have a hankering or an urge for all the time.
Okay. Okay. Let's change gears a little bit and let's take a few minutes to talk about the frozen dessert section of your regular grocery store. So, where do you normally buy, at what store do you normally buy your frozen desserts or ice cream?
Stop and Shop?
Stop and Shop? Okay. So, describe for me what the ice cream aisle looks like at Stop and Shop.
Um, I mean, it's just a bunch of freezers. They're all like the door type freezers. So one side has kind of like your tubs of ice cream and pints and whatnot, and then the other one's got like your kind of novelty bars.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, if you could redesign that section of Stop and Shop, just the ice cream and the frozen dessert section of the store, what changes do you want to make? And there are no
Uh,
wrong answers.
I mean, it's not really like feasible to do, but I mean, sometimes it's hard to like see through the glass, especially when you open the door, then it kind of fogs it up. But like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
really a feasible change because you kind of need the glass there to keep the cold in.
What else?
Um, I really got nothing. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice if like they faced the ice cream more often, I guess. So like everything's like pushed forward. So sometimes like especially with ice cream, I feel like there's so many flavors, so sometimes you like miss things
Mm-hmm,
if they're not all like pushed forward.
mm-hmm. Thinking about, in that section, there's types of products, there's brands, there's sizes, there's flavors. Um, what do you want to see more of, and what do you want to see less of?
Um, I mean, I want to see less of the healthy alternatives because I just don't think they taste very good. Um, and I don't know. There's a plethora of flavors, so I don't think flavors are. I don't know what more I'd want to see. I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, what changes do you think would make shopping easier for you?
Um, Unsure. I mean, I don't find the shopping experience to be incredibly difficult. So,
Okay. How about more enjoyable? How could it make that aisle more enjoyable for you?
I mean, I like samples and stuff to be able to try something out. Kind of like if you go to like Costco on a Sunday or something, you
Mm-hmm.
can like try stuff, but like it's not really that feasible either.
Yep. Yep. What about convenience? What changes could make shopping that aisle more convenient for you?
It's pretty convenient. I mean, you just open the door and grab whatever you want. I don't have any issue with it.
What about signage? Do you want more signage or less signage?
I mean, I don't need any more like signage. I mean, it's pretty clear. Sometimes like the pricing can be a little difficult if things are kind of like thrown together, but
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I get that. Can you explain that?
sometimes if there's like a bunch of ice cream and they're not necessarily like well stocked on the shelf, sometimes like the same brand of ice cream will be different for different flavors, like different prices for different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's sometimes confusing, I guess, but generally it's like in the same ballpark, so it doesn't really matter that much. But
So if you're saying there's too much signage in the freezer section, what is the advice to Stop and Shop about that?
no, I don't think there's too much signage. I think it's like just fine.
Okay. And to get you to buy more ice cream, what changes would be necessary to the ice cream aisle?
Um, I don't really know.
What changes would
I'm not really. I'm just not really somebody that's like enticed by signage.
Okay, good. How about the assortment of products? What changes would you make to the assortment of products to get you to buy more or more often?
Um, I mean, there's so many products out there, like ice cream flavors. Like, it's really hard to say that if they added one more flavor or something, that it would make me want to purchase it more often. I got nothing.
So, what way could they move things around on the shelves? Left to right, top to bottom, etc. What's next to whatever. What ways could they do that to improve your experience of ice cream shopping?
I mean, I think they're all laid out fine. Like they're all together where they should be. I don't necessarily think there's like another place in the store if they put ice cream that I'd be more apt to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the placement's fine.
So then if you could offer 3 bits of advice to Stop and Shop about how to redo this section, the new and improved by Patrick ice cream section, what would your 3 ideas be?
Um, to make sure the products are like facing outward and in line with each other, that they're all in the right spot, and that they're labeled properly.
And those are important to you because
If they're not faced properly, it's like difficult to find what you're looking for, or, like see them. Like to be able to see the price of something before I buy it. And yeah, I just don't like it when it looks unorganized and cluttered. It doesn't look as appealing to me.
so when shopping is cluttered and difficult, what does that cause to go on in your mind?
It makes me feel more like cattle than like a person, I guess. So it's just, it makes it seem, it cheapens it, makes it seem more like mass produced.
Did Did you say cattle, like a moo cow?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting word choice. Tell me about that.
It just makes me feel like kind of like, I don't know, part of the herd, I guess. So when it's like nicely organized, it's more like, oh, like this is like specifically for you. Take one versus, oh, this is for everybody. This has been picked over. Everything's everywhere. Like everybody's already eaten from the trough.
Okay. Let me quick check all my papers here. So before we close up, is there anything else about ice cream that you want to make sure that we hear here at Big Ice Cream Corporation?
No, not particularly. I mean, I think you're doing fine. Or a big ice cream. These are the focus groups that I dislike. This is like packaging, like it just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, there's nothing in particular that I can think of.
Okay, great. Well, believe it or not, it is our 30 minutes has flown by. So thank you for being with us today. And the project manager will be getting the thank you gift to you as promised. So have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.